Hello and welcome to the Daily's Newsroom and another episode of the Daily's Double Shot, our last episode for fall quarter. I'm executive producer Simon Fox, and over the next 30 minutes we're going to give you 6 insights into daily life at the University of Washington. From politics to Hollywood and over to Husky athletics, we'll show you it all coming up on this episode of the Daily's Double Shot. Let's get started.
Yeah.
I'll see you there. Okay.
Red Square was busier than normal today as students from different races and ethnicities joined hands to protest the recent verdict of the Ferguson case. We were here on the front lines to see how it all went down.
And we're in pain. We're looking for something to do even that night, something constructive, something together. And it turned out, in the midst of our pain, in the midst of us talking over the phone, we said, why not? Let's just meet at Red Square. You know, what's turned into, when do you get out of class? When are you done with classes? And 1:30 seemed to fit the bill for a time for meetup. And we didn't know who was going to come out. We didn't know what tools we had. We just knew we were going to meet at Red Square at 1:30 after we were all done with classes.
I said the revolution will not be televised. The revolution is here. And I think it's an important situation that we talk about, that everyone actually actively makes a step to do something. Because I think the way it's covered, it's always outside of us. It's always somewhere else. And I think sometimes we need to realize that by doing something, it is an act of protest. It is an act of revolution.
For the 4.5 hours, Mike Brown's body was left cold in the streets of Missouri. If you could stay for 4.5 minutes and honor justice in which we need to fight for now. From there, when you go on, keep this in your minds, keep it in your thoughts, keep speaking with your friends and family about justice and democracy now.
It's not an immediate response. It's not an immediate result. It's not going to happen tomorrow. It's taken 40 years to get to being in this place where we have myself working as a doctoral student. So it may take another 40 years, but at some point it will change.
In high school, I was the average douchebag white kid who didn't know what the hell anything was about any form of oppression or injustice or anything. But once I started kind of getting more educated about the systems that were in place and the privileges that I enjoy, I kind of realized that I have an obligation almost to use my privilege to try to promote the conversations about these issues and make sure that everybody knows about the injustices that are being done.
So many times when you don't have a group to belong to, whether that's because of time constraints or you just haven't joined or found the right one, there was a huge sense of solidarity. There was a huge sense of collective unity that was felt. Yes, because people from different nationalities, different creeds, different religions, some people, I saw some signs advocating for also sexual minorities as well as blacks. It's just a beautiful thing that people can see that oppression affects all of us.
Hey, hey, ho, ho, these racist cops have got to go. Hey, hey, ho, ho, these racist cops have got to go. Hey.
I think we can blame the cops, but the cops are people too. Cops have to go down at night. They're our neighbors, and ultimately the cops work for us. And that's why we got to change our mindset. UW police have done a fine job keeping us safe. as well as letting us exercise our right to to protest, to have our voices heard. We have an immense amount of privilege coming to one of the best schools in the nation. It took a lot of hard work to get here, and it starts now in terms of this isn't going to get over next week. This has to continue on, because if we keep letting these injustices happening and not challenging our own system, who says the system's not going to knock on your door?
Justice for my crown now, justice for my crown, justice for my crown wins, justice for us all. Which side are you on, friends? Which side are you on?
Hi, I'm Sydney for the Daily's Double Shot. And you know, we might be hungry college students, but we really don't know what hunger means. Today I'll be going down to the University District Food Bank to see how the food bank helps those people who are really hungry get the extra food they need, especially around the holidays. Check it out.
So my name is Joe Gruber. I'm Executive Director of the University District Food Bank. I've been director of the food bank for 11 and a half years, after being a volunteer for 3 years before that. So every year we get a tremendous amount of community support around the holidays, so both at Thanksgiving and also then around the Christmas and Hanukkah holidays. And basically we try to work to provide families both the healthy food that they rely on for 3 days of nutrition when they visit us, and also provide them extra food to use for their celebrations. And so what we do is we work on getting donations and purchasing food to actually fill in the Thanksgiving baskets that many of our families need. We serve around 1,100 families a week. During the Thanksgiving season, though, it'll actually get a little bit busier. So we'll see maybe 1,200 or 1,300 families during a holiday week. And so for us, that's people who are normal food bank customers who might just visit us every once in a while, realizing that for the holidays, there's extra pressure around them to both host their family, but also then, especially as we look at Christmas, right? Folks want to also provide gifts for their family members, their kids. And so the extra pressures that they see there. We also have a holiday food drive that starts on campus a little bit this week, but mostly kicks off next week and will go through the end of the quarter. And so those will be a lot of barrels in different departments that will allow people to make canned and dry good donations to the food bank. The food bank is open 5 days a week to distribute groceries, and any one of those days we're actually open to receive donations as well. So we have a donation drop-off window in the alley just south of our front door at 1413 Northeast 50th Street.
I'm Dick Mux, and I used to be a professor until a few years ago. I've only been volunteering for about a month, maybe a little more than a month. So why did I start coming in here? I just thought like I should be doing more in the community and trying to help out wherever I can. And I didn't really know there were so many people that needed food and that were really desperate for just a little protein, a little basic food. How many students volunteer? I'm not really sure, but I see UW students here every week, 3 or 4 every day that I come in. There are a few, not as many as we would like to see. Why should the students volunteer? I think there are 2 reasons really. There's part of it is that you're contributing. We need people. A lot of times there's not enough volunteers, and it's kind of a chaotic situation where food is coming in and we have to sort out the good stuff, put it out on the shelves, and then we have to check people out, and as they select their merchandise, we help them bag it and do the basic things like that. So we need help to contribute. But I think the other part, and what students should really realize, is you will learn a lot doing this. You'll learn about what the needs are in the community, and you will open your eyes to a different world that's out there.
Hey everyone, I'm here with Jackie from the Daily Double Shot, and this week's episode will feature Andrew Johnson, who's the co-manager of the UW League of Legends team, Purple Caster Minions. Last year, they won the Collegiate Star Tournament, and each player won $7,500 with a total of $52,500. Enjoy! With intense keyboard pressing and precise clicking of the mouse, League of Legends is the largest multiplayer game in North America and in Europe.
The League of Legends Club started originally with just a bunch of friends that really liked League of Legends. They created a Facebook page and they kind of incorporated their own group. It was a really small, kind of close kind of group. And then I don't know, it just started to expand. People would add their own friends to the Facebook page, and then it just got really big. And I came on like maybe a year after it started up, and it was already a decent size, and it's just continued ever since. And now we've really started to get some more formal programming coming along, and it's really great.
So now we will have Andrew teach us some tips and tricks on how to be a successful League of Legends player. Here we go.
The main buttons are Q, W, E, and R. I guess the general rule is that Q, W, and E are like general abilities, like you'll use them a lot. And then R is like your special ability, it's like your best ability, but it has like a longer cooldown, so you can't use it as often. Your camera setting is set to unlocked rather than locked. If you're unlocked, what'll happen is you'll be stuck on your character and it'll just keep it at the center. And that's not very good because right now, like, I can't see what's going on to the left of me right over here. And it's better, like I can get more vision of what I'm trying to attack is if I'm, like my guy's right over up into this corner right here, and then everyone else, like what I'm trying to attack is somewhere else. So I do a few things for the Union of Purple Caster Minions, the League of Legends Club at University of Washington, and what I primarily do is I used to do tournament coordination, so we used to have like bi-weekly tournaments that were online that we would set up for students, and I would help run those. But now what I'm doing right now is I'm co-managing our competitive team, and they play against other collegiate level teams around the United States, and we're hoping to win some money. What we're competing for is $30,000 for each player. So there's 5 guys on the team, so let's see here, that's $150,000 that we're competing for, and we're competing against other colleges that are also going for this money. So yeah, the stakes are pretty high. Watch out for the programming that we're going to be having next quarter during winter. I'm sure we're going to be doing a lot of really cool things, including like a monthly dinner on the Ave. We'll have our normal tournaments, and I think we're even going to be doing a LAN next quarter. So watch out for that, you guys.
You won.
Yep.
It may be a year away, but next year's Seattle City Council ballot will feature a UW professor. Here's Taso Lagos announcing his candidacy.
Today I announce my candidacy to represent the 4th District on the Seattle City Council for the November 2015 election. I do so opposing no person, but out of a strong conviction to bring freshness, vitality, dynamism, energy, accountability, and more democracy to the Seattle City Council.
I was born in a small village on the Greek island of Evia, E-V-I-A, with my brother, and we came to the U.S. when I was 8 years old.
All around us, you might notice that there's a lot of building going on. Growth and development are very, very important. But the question we have to ask is, how much and what does it do for the community?
We came to Seattle. It was weird to leave a small village and to come to this great city.
Questions about the livability of the area, about why we live in a city, what makes a city special. These are the kinds of questions that every great city has to ask and has to answer. And Seattle is embarking on that road right now. Seattle is the fastest growing metropolis in the United States. Growth is coming at an unprecedented level.
My sister was then born. We grew up in the Seattle area. My father and Linwood, my father and family took over the Continental Greek restaurant on January 1st, 1974. We had no experience in the restaurant business.
So in the next year, I'm going to begin a dialogue with all the constituents, and my plan is to walk every single street in the 4th District. I know that sounds crazy, but I will do it because it's that important for me to get the word out that we have some major decisions to make. And these decisions are going to affect the livelihood of people in this area, jobs, businesses, etc. We need to decide that, okay? Affordable housing is going to become an issue. We all know that prices are going up in terms of the rent. What are we going to do about that? Here's just one example of what we can do, and there are other ideas out there. You have a space between 50th and 45th above the freeway. Why can't we use that space to have some kind of mixed use with affordable housing? We have a homeless population problem in this city, specifically in the U District. And by the way, my father, who owned the Continental for 40 years, we have a little experience about homelessness in this district.
We worked hard. My father worked really hard. Then eventually my mother came aboard, my brother also, and that became an institution where people got together, shared ideas, people from different political perspectives. They found sort of common ground, and it became an institution where you can go in. You know, the owners were there, they knew you by name. It was just a fabulous place.
The other most important thing that I really am very keen about is this idea of livability, what Pete Hamill called psychic geography, the ballet on the sidewalk. We can talk about streets, we can talk about cars, which for many people is what a city is about, or we can also talk about the livability, the culture, the history, the ideas, and the people behind a community. What is a community? It is people bouncing into each other. What we need in this district, and this specifically in the U District, is a plaza around the light rail station at 43rd and Brooklyn.
I got the idea of running for city council about 25 years ago when I realized that it would be something that I could do and I felt that I could contribute, but I always felt a little hesitant because of the amount of money involved and because people kept telling me that, well, good people should not be running for office because they will be butchered.
The ancient Greeks, the ancient Athenians believed that besides giving economic growth to a city, besides giving security and safety in a city, the city gives its citizens the idea of the good life.
What kicked it into practice was that when my father and my family closed the Continental Greek restaurant on the Ave, I was so sad from that I was really, that was the final push for me to finally say, you know what, I need to do something about this dream, but also as a way to kind of capture the flavor and the community of the old Continental Greek restaurant.
I will be working very hard the next year. I will need your help. But I believe this city is at the crux of a important step that is taken towards becoming a world-class city, and I want to be part of that. I want to be able to listen to you, and I want to make this city such an emblem of what can be great about urban life. I sometimes talk about the idea of a city on a hill, maybe several hills in the case of Seattle, but this is where we're going. Thank you.
Welcome to Film Focus. I'm Dylan Teague McDonald, and today we'll be discussing Horrible Bosses 2. Let's go take a look.
Give us the $500,000, or the grown man dies.
You have 24 hours.
I wish you were there to read it to him. That sounds scary as hell, that
Well, that's
voice.
why I wanted the scary letters.
I think we're really good at this.
We're extremely good at it.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to say anything either, but like way better than murder.
Oh my God,
You know,
a lot
so we
better
kind of
than
found our
murder.
groove.
This is fun.
All right, glue stick, and I'm going to lock this in.
Oh, great.
We are all clear. Let's go. Oh, you kidding me, man?
First film came out 3 years ago, starred Jason Bateman, Jason Sudeikis, and Charlie Day as a trio of friends who decide that all their bosses are terrible and that they're going to kill each other's bosses. And in this newest film, in the intervening 3 years, they've started their own company producing a multifunction shower head. This product, strangely enough, draws the attention of Christoph Waltz, who plays Bert Hansen, and his son, Rex Hansen, played by Chris Pine. They're these sort of corporate marauders who like to buy a company and then just sell off all the assets in China. So Nick, Dale, and Kurt, they team up. They decide to kidnap Rex to get a ransom from Bert, his father, to pay off their own debts. It's kind of a convoluted plot, really. So the initial parts of the film have this message about how corporate loopholes are basically more advantageous to get ahead than hard work. And Nick, Dale, and Kurt feel this indebtedness towards their employees, and they want the best for their employees. Unfortunately, after this whole kidnapping thing explodes, the film sort of dies. The characters, they're not really characters anymore. They become one-note jokes. So as a comedy, it kind of fails because these jokes, they get old really fast or they just fail to land at all. And then any attempt at like emotion or depth also fails. So you're not going to be satisfied no matter what you're going into this film for. You're not going to be satisfied or fulfilled. What was refreshing in the first film too, the dark comedy was nice because things were unpredictable, but because you're using the same brand of dark comedy, you're retreading a lot of the same ground, so it's not as unpredictable. And the characters that were built up in the first film, Jason Sudeikis' character, he was worried about how this new boss was going to affect the other employees, or Charlie Day's character, who was worried about being sexually assaulted because he wanted to be faithful to his fiancée. These were sort of refreshing characters. You didn't see a lot of bro-y guys who still had genuine emotions. But in this film, those are completely cut out. Who the characters were in the first film is irrelevant in this second film. And what's worse is that irrelevance doesn't matter, that it doesn't affect the plot of the film, that they have ceased to be characters. The film has no use for character, basically, at this point. It just keeps going through jokes that get very old very quickly. Overall, this film is just a rehash of the first film. If you've seen that first film, you've seen this one, but better. A lot of the jokes are reused, and it's so knowingly stealing from the earlier film. In the end, it's not a very fulfilling film. I mean, these actors are talented, and I'm sure you enjoy them in other roles. All this talent on display, and yet there's really nowhere for it to go. That these jokes kind of fall flat, the story kind of meanders, and it doesn't really resolve in a satisfying way. Which even though it's a dark comedy, you expect something to make sense, I guess, and none of it really does, and none of it's very funny. And so it ultimately just becomes dark. It becomes watching these characters abused, and you're supposed to laugh at it, but you just feel terrible because it's not that funny.
Oh, that was embarrassing. We're trying to do a super cool slow-mo walk, guy.
Come on, man.
Easy. No, it's over. Let's go.
Where you going, Nick?
Moronic
Come
idea.
on, man.
Thank you for joining me for Film Focus. I'm sorry the film wasn't that great, but hopefully the focus was a little better. I'm still in Team McDonald. Have a nice day.
I'm Christopher Zuethen, and this is the UW Daily Double Shot Pros vs. Joes. Today we'll be taking on the UW men's soccer team.
I'm here with
Kyle Coffey, a forward from the men's soccer team.
and we're going to be doing a little shootout. 3 tips to be a better soccer player.
Get into the weight room, practice a lot of shooting, and get fit, I guess.
Who would you say your celebrity crush is?
If I had to say one, probably Emma Watson.
What is your favorite celebration move after scoring?
I don't know. I like the knee slide into the team.
All right. I'm here with Taimur Rushdie. He's the manager of the UW men's soccer team. What are we going to be doing for our skills test, Taimur?
Well, it'll be you on this side, Chris, and Kyle over on that side, and you're just going to do the classic dribbling through the cones. Nothing too difficult.
Shouldn't be too hard.
So how do you think you're going to do in this skill set test?
I'm going to smoke him.
Nah, any of the dribbling stuff is probably not going to be too close to a competition. Nah.
Go. I'm not doing this.
How many push-ups can you do?
Oh, man, I don't know. Let's say 100.
How many goals do I think he's going to score? 0. There's a reason they call me Stonewall Jackson.
10 out of 10 goals are going in. No problems about that.
Give us something that you don't want your mom to know.
Ooh, I don't know, maybe some of the celebrations we have after wins.
How do I think it went? That kid throws gas. I'm here with Ryan Herman, senior goalkeeper on the men's soccer team.
21 years old. My favorite place to eat is probably Red Robin, I'd have to say. Maybe Cheesecake Factory.
How many goals do you think you're going to save against me?
Hopefully all of them.
Shooting-wise, I think I'm going to do really well. This is what I was made for. My strategy for the shootout is just come in there very level-headed, toe punch everything, just hit the ball like a cinder block. The thing about shooting is the ball doesn't lie.
How should I be striking the ball? Like, what's the professional technique here?
You should probably be hitting it with your laces or the inside of your foot.
So I should not toe punch.
That's explosion.
That's weird because my, Little League coach always said right after don't use your hands, that using your toe should be the first thing that you do.
Okay, well, that's, I guess, a different coaching method.
All right.
Tell us something that you wouldn't tell your mom.
I tell my mom everything.
I don't think that goal is regulation size. I just want to put that out there. What's your favorite celebration?
Favorite celebration? Probably a classic knee slide to the fans.
So guys, that's pretty much it. I'm Tamo Rushdie.
I'm Ryan. I'm Kyle.
I'm Christopher Zuethen, and this has been Pros vs. Joes.
Well, that's all the content we've got for you tonight. But make sure you tune in winter quarter for our first episode of 2015. In the meantime, you can check us out online at dailyuw.com/doubleshot or on our YouTube channel, Daily UW. We really appreciate you guys watching, and we'll see you in the new year on the Daily's Double Shot.